live yet. So, yeah. Right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this course called Meditation for Everyone, or Bring Our Mental Self at back home at Wat Mahathat, King's Bromley, Burton-on Trent. Okay. So today is what day? 15, isn't it?
Yes.
Today is the 15th of August 2020, and this is the first time after the lockdown that I come back to this temple. My last course, it was in February. In February. Okay, so it's nice to come back, and in fact there were a few more who wanted to come but got canceled last minute for various reasons. Okay, can you hear me? You hear me all right? I don't need this, right? I'm very gesticulate. I teach with my hands, my fingers as well. So I don't like to hold a microphone. If I need to use a microphone, it got to be lapel. Okay? Right. Let's get moving. I'm really I might catch with some of these things. I believe that Jack Fraser is not new. Okay, Jackie is not new, but Jack, Deborah, and Sharon, including Nick, you're quite new to, although you listen to my YouTube video. But anyway, today is I put it forward as the beginner course, so I'm going to just do it as beginners. Okay. So when you come to a temple like this, the most obvious thing is all this physical stuff, the building, or the glitter, the monk, the shrine room. So this is something that I need to explain to especially Western people, that Buddhism is very much like Russian doll. There are so many layers. Okay, from the physical, appearances that you can see. Okay, which mostly they're quite, glittering. And then you can delve deeper, taking the moral precept, the meditation, so on and on and on, until toward the end, you're talking about the essence of life. You're talking about the ultimate truth, whatever that is, okay? Okay? Talking about the core of life. Or talking about source, if you are familiar with the word source, right? Source. Okay? And this is what the Buddha called nirvana, which there is only one ultimate truth. So there are two sides of Buddhism. The exterior, which is the physical side, you see the temple, the establishment, the hierarchy. If you go into the temple, you see something, like a fan. Do you see?
Yeah.
You explore later. I mean, that is a form of hierarchy there, a form of status, okay, which you might not think that exists, but I think it exists it's just like Vatican, you got all the different color robe, that kind of thing, showing the different level of hierarchy. And then you got the ceremony, the chanting, the tradition, giving the alms to the monk, the yellow robe, the giving, receiving arm, chanting, all these things, including the Buddha statue and all the glitters. I like you to know that these are the exterior of Buddhism. Okay? It's just like the bark that covers the essence of the tree. It need to, rely on one another. Okay? But the exterior, cover the essence of Buddhism. The essence of Buddhism, the Buddhas talk about the empowerment. The empowerment. Put the destiny of your life in your own hands. Okay? regain your mental and spiritual freedom. I would use a lots of props to uh, to deliver the message that is so abstract, because we are talking about, yeah, have a look. This is your body, your physical body, which is the part that you can see in the mirror, right? And then you also got mind and spirit. What is your mind? Mind is your thoughts and feelings, which we all got one, right? Mind, your thoughts and feelings. You know, feeling happy, I'm sad, all these things, feeling. Okay? And then your spirit. What is your spirit? Your spirit, your soul, or your consciousness. Consciousness? Consciousness, the nature of knowing, the nature of being conscious. Okay? So you got the body, mind, spirit, or body, mind, consciousness. The essence of Buddhism, okay, talk about trying to regain your mental and spiritual freedom. This is your mental and spiritual freedom in here. It's in the part that you cannot see in the mirror, because your thoughts and feelings sometimes is in the state of eruption. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I'm so sad, I'm so lonely, I'm so this, I'm so that, I'm depressed, I have a breakdown now. Oh, I want to kill myself, all these things. Okay? To the point of euphoria. Euphoria is in the same, but in the other spectrum. You're so excited, you can't sleep, that kind of thing. Okay? So, to the Buddha, this state of mind, okay, from one spectrum, from euphoria to suicidal, okay, class as unsettlement, unsettled, okay, having no freedom, the opposite side of having freedom. So the Buddha is talking about gaining the freedom, or in full control. From the boom, 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 come to here. Total bliss, tranquility, okay? And then understanding how your mind consciousness works. This is your mind, this is your consciousness. Try to understand how it works, okay? As well as learning a mental skill to defeat your unwanted and painful thoughts and feelings. It isn't every thought and feeling that you welcome them, do you? No. A lot of the time you just want, please go away. Someone please take them away. I don't want them. But you don't know how to switch it off. Just like you do with light. So these topics are the essence of Buddhism that not every monk talk about. Okay? The monk, the hierarchy, all these things is about the exterior. So today, I'm not qualified to talk about this part. Okay? Ritual, ceremonial, this thing. I'm not qualified to do that. Okay? I'm here today to share with you the knowledge of the essence of Buddhism. To give you this self-empowering tool as how you can regain your mental freedom from all this boom, boom, boom. You know, how you can, switch all these unwanted thoughts and feelings off on demand, at will. After you've gone through a process, a lengthy time, okay, that you put in your practice, you will be able to do that. So just, fast forward a little bit, just to give you a little bit of motivation. Okay, so I hope that this is something that you are looking for. If you're looking for something like this, you're in the right place. Okay? But if it isn't your cup of tea, you can still change your mind. Okay? Right. So let's see. The Buddha used the suffering approach. A lot of people, you know, Western people criticize Buddhism that the Buddhist people are so pessimistic. You always talk about suffering, but life is not all about suffering, is it? We got joy, we got this and that, you know, some, you know, entertainment. It's not always suffering. And some, although at the same time, there are some people when talk about suffering, they like to give, you know, have the image of Calcutta slum in the third world country, you know, that filled with poverty. It isn't like that. So I've got to really explain what the meaning of suffering in the Buddha's view. The term suffering I like to use replaced with the term mental pain. When you say mental pain, it's much closer to you now, isn't it? Mental pain is this boom, boom, boom. Okay, it's this boom, boom, boom. Which the Buddha used it as the approach, okay, for us to find the spiritual, you know, enlightenment. Let's see, what did I put down? If one is happy in one's comfort zone, spirituality is less important. You agree that? There is no reason for you to search for anything if you're in your comfort zone, right? However, challenges, struggling, trauma, mental pain are usually the symptoms for search and for positive change. These are the catalysts. It's a very good catalyst for you to make a real change to your life. Okay? So this is the reason why Buddha used suffering as the approach for spiritual search, leading to spiritual liberation. Okay? Yeah, which is quite true, isn't it? If you are too comfortable, you know, you won't search. But you got to know that there is no guarantee that you can be in your comfort zone forever and ever. Like this COVID-19, it just so, who knows? But when it comes, gosh, everyone is all in the same, you know, boat. Like at the moment, a lot of pilots, you know, that who can, you know, earn a lot of money, they're out of job, all the same. Okay. So let's see this fact, axiom. Is it true? Think a few seconds, okay? And then answer for yourself. Parting from someone or something we love is suffering. Is it true? It is true. That's why we cry so much when we lost a loved one, right? Equally, being with someone or something you hate is equally suffering, right? Think about your close one, your partner especially, that you cannot get along. What happened? Oh, good grief. It's hell on earth, isn't it? Right? It's equally suffering. Okay. So, the Buddha delved into the detail of suffering or mental pain. That detail, the symptoms are worries, anxiety, sadness, loneliness, hate, anger, agitation. Even agitation, you know, about something. Enough for you to have boom, boom, boom. Envy, discontentment, disappointment, panic, physical discomfort, you know, when it's too hot. Oh, right? Mental pain, hysteria, and so forth. These are all the symptoms of suffering. So I'm going to ask a few of you. Is there anyone who wants to object to this statement? The Buddha stated this 2.5 millennia ago. Up till this very moment, still no one can dispute this fact of life, right? So this is the reason why we got to search for the liberation of our mental, status, our mental pain. Right, getting to know a human making. So, right, we get to the point now. From now on, we are going to delve into the very area that causes us pain, which is where? Is it our body? No. It is our mind and spirit. So this life form that you have, beautiful, handsome, okay, it's made up of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah. See, this illustration will help you to see. This is your physical body, which is the only part that you can see in the mirror. This part you cannot see in the mirror. Okay, your mind. So from now on, I like you to know that when I talk about mind, okay, it refers to 3 components that make up of your life form. Those 3 components are your memories, your thoughts. Thought and memories is come in the form of thought, but memories is all the thought that referring to the past. Okay, and the thought is this is the immediate, the planning, thinking about the future, all these things, but still in the form of thoughts and feelings. So thoughts and feeling altogether is mind. I just try to make it very clear cut to you. We all talk about mind, consciousness, soul, spirit, but we don't know what is what. And the brain, okay, the brain is here. It's very important that you know that the brain is here. So mind, thought, memories, and feelings. And then you got another component which is totally separated from your mind. There are different functions. That is your consciousness. And this part, sometimes you call your soul, your spirit. Okay? So in here, I'm going to call it your mental self to correspond, to give it a character. So that this character, we can build a storyline, okay? Surrounded them. And then I'm going to deliver to you in the language of a storyline. So that you can understand better, because they are not shown in the mirror for you to see. That's why you need to have that very clear understanding. So that's why the vocabulary, the word, everything, it got to be so clear cut for you. Okay? And I support with all these illustration as well to help you to understand better. Okay? So you got the mind and the spirit or consciousness. So from now on, I won't call this term consciousness. Okay, this abstract, component, energetic component. I will give a storyline for them, mental self. Okay, in opposed to your physical self. So you got a physical self, and then you got a mental self, which is the subject inside your true self as well. So let's have a look. And then to make life even more easier for you. Is that my drink, isn't it? That is my bottle, isn't it, Cheryl? Thank you. Okay, make life easier for you. I'm going to round these 3 components of a life form up with just one word. Can you all read for me, please, loudly? Jerry. Okay, so when I talk about Jerry, okay, I talk about your thoughts and feelings. In other words, I talk about your problem. I talk about your boom, boom, boom. I talk about your domestic. Okay? Whatever problem that you have out here, it doesn't matter what. We round it into just one word is Jerry. You know Tom and Jerry, okay? So this is Jerry. Okay, so by the end of today and the end of tomorrow, you will get used to it. Oh, I have so many Jerry today. That kind of thing. It will, you will. You will. I hope you will anyway. Because it will make your life much easier. So, Jerry represents all problems. Every problem hits our life in the form of thoughts and feelings of Jerry. Okay? Right. Fact or fiction? When you are facing mental pain or being hit by Jerry, we all want to forget or switch off everything in our head, right? Right? So this is the part that you see in the mirror. But Jerry doesn't show. But it shows on your facial appearances. The sadness, the tense, the stress, you know, the knots around here, the tears, that's all. But the real Jerry in here, oh my God. Only you personal, it's so personal and it's so intimate. It's just rub against your soul and the pain. We don't have to talk about it. We all know. We all know what it tastes like. Okay? So, is it fact or fiction? When you're being hit by Jerry like this, you know, oh gosh, what I'm going to do in the future, this and that, you know. The one thing that you want is, please anyone just switch this up for me, right? Is that what you want, right? Okay? But how? How? Go and do meditation. Yeah, easy said and done. Go meditate. Go wash your breath. Okay, wash my breath and how? Not easy. So that's why today I'm going to just, you know, delve you into step by step as how to do it. So Jerry is the unseen enemy. Jerry is the non-physical element and located within our physical body. This makes it extremely difficult to understand and resolve. That's why it is important to use analogies, illustration for clear understanding. Okay? Come back to this. So this is another illustration to give you the clear image. This is the part that you see yourself in the mirror. But you won't see this part. But a whole army, sometimes it is a whole army of Jerry bombarding you, you know, constantly. You can't sleep, tossing and turning, boom, 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 boom. Stress. So we look at the symptom now, okay? Drinking senselessly in one way, okay, in one way for people to, is one way for people to forget their mental pain temporarily. It's a quick fix. Okay, so when you see people who have any kind of addiction, don't judge them too quickly. Everyone, they all have issues in here, but they don't know how to switch them off. And this is one way to switch it off. I just want to forget. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, a quick fix. This is another way. Okay, explosive anger. Okay, is another way to get rid of your mental pain in the ugly and destructive manner. It's still another form of quick fix. Another form of quick fix. It just bear in mind that don't do it in front of children. Okay, because they will have to, you know, live for a long time. And the mental wound to see their loved one, their mom and dad, you know, this kind of thing, it will dig into their mental, you know, self, and then create this trauma, this wound, which will affect the rest of their life. Okay, just go and do it somewhere else. Medication, drug addiction, even paracetamol. Okay, a more quick fix. That's all there is to it. Because here, when you go to your GP, they got only 4 minutes per each patient. But our problem sometimes 6 months, you're still talking about it. Your GP won't have 6 months for you. Okay? They don't even have half an hour for you to tell them your problem. But they got to do something. And prescription is a convenient way. Okay? Together with the pharmaceutical. I like you to identify your sense of, you know, isolation, loneliness, despair. Sometimes, you know, this type of loneliness is very profound. It isn't the physical loneliness, the physical isolation. You can always find your way back home. Okay, if you get lost somewhere, but not the spiritual lost. The spiritual lost, you can be among a crowd, a family gathering, among your beloved, but for some reason you're feeling so isolated in the sense that you cannot share what you really want to say, to feel to your loved ones. You want to say something, they talk over you. You want to say something, they change the subject. So in the end, even the couple, you want to say, oh no, change my mind. This is a very profound and painful kind of isolation that you just don't know how to find your way out. Okay? And it's affect, oh gosh, I would say the entire world. Those who are really not lost is those who live in the jungle, in the Amazon jungle. They're the real happy one. For people in the city, you know, I would say 99%, unless, you know, you're the infant, you're the babies. Your life's not complex yet. Okay? So this is a very profound kind of mental pain. And reduce one to scream inwardly. And feed more to this, you know, pharmaceutical company. Yeah. And the ultimate quick fix is kill yourself. Okay? Because they just don't know where or what to turn to. And at that moment, among this boom, 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 you see, you know, it's just so dark, and they can only see one way out, that is kill themselves. Okay? Especially among this, you know, since the lockdown, losing job, all these things. So this has become the popular solution. Right. Mental pain has only one taste. No matter what kind of mental pain you go through, the actual experience is the same. Unpleasant, excruciating, agonizing, unbearable, and suicidal. So, okay, I delve into the symptom of a mental pain. So from now on, we call it Jerry, which the symptom is the boom, boom, boom in here. A lot of the time, there is not enough word to describe how we feel. You know, when you say that sad, lonely, everyone have their own version of sadness. And if that person you talk to don't have the sadness of the loneliness, they don't have a clue what you're talking about. They don't. So come to your inner world. You are so alone. So alone. Right. So far, is there anyone who want to dispute that all these things doesn't exist in life? Is there anyone who want to argue that, oh, no, there are things better? Yes, there are better things, comfort zone that I talk about. But that is not the problem, is it? Mm? The real problem is something like this, that make you search for something better, search for some kind of liberation of, inwardly, which is a good sign. Okay? So everyone will agree, there is no objection, we can move on then. Move on to the very solution. This is why you want to search for a class like this, right? Okay? Because you want solution. And solution is something I will give you. Okay? So I like you to know that I'm going to use the Buddha's approach regarding the solution. And let me rewind a bit. All this that I have told to you, okay, I have delivered to you so far, I have told you about the first and the second noble truth already. Okay? Upon the enlightenment of the Buddha, he have found out the four fundamental truths of life. The first one is that everyone have the mental pain or the suffering all the same. And the cause of that suffering is come from who? What? Did I call you? Jerry. Okay? The cause of suffering is your Jerry. And then we are going to get to the solution. The solution is the third noble truth. It's the third noble truth. Okay? So upon the Buddha's enlightenment, he had uncovered how to resolve mental pain. Okay? How to resolve all this boom, boom, boom. And his means is the mindfulness meditation. The mindfulness meditation. So using mindfulness as a tool to deal with this mental issue. Stress, anxiety, depression, guilt, fear, trauma, abuse, and loss. A lot more, so forth. Okay, so is there any questions so far? No, okay, you follow, okay, right? So let's not forget that the mental pain come from who? Come from Jerry. Okay, so this is the beginning, the catalyst, the beginning for you to motivate, for you to search. These are the beginning, okay? Because you don't want to think, I don't want to think, I don't want to feel like this, I want to feel differently, okay? I want to think differently. I want to experience the peace and quiet. So basically, you want to replace your mental pain, okay, with your inner peace, silence, and harmony, right? Okay. So this is the endorsement of the Buddha on the night of his enlightenment 2,600 years ago. Okay. So basically what he had found, okay, is a state of that he called nirvana. Okay. And what is nirvana? It's explained with two sentences. No happiness is greater than inner peace. No happiness is greater than inner peace. Okay? Nirvana is the best kind of happiness. Hence, nirvana is inner peace. Okay? So we are looking for inner peace. So this is something that you want to find out today. Okay, so the introduction Fraser, do you find a difference? A bit, right? Yeah, every time I try to find it, more and more concise for you, and then squeeze the time down to help you to get to the the practice, quicker, having more time to practice. So this is the perspective. At this moment, we are here standing at position A. Position A, when you have all these Jerry hitting you, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you got the stress, worry, anxiety, restlessness, loneliness, fear, anger, envy, or basically losing control of your mind. Losing control. You lost it. Okay, which is bad news. The first noble truth. On the night of the enlightenment of the Buddha, he had found out position B, which is everything opposite position A. Position A, boom, 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 Jerry. Position B, absolutely still and quiet. Okay, totally blissful, at peace. Okay, the third noble truth. Okay, the Buddha is quite unique in the sense that he gave us a very precise map, a tool as how we can go from A to B. And that is Vipassana. Can everyone say the word after me? Vipassana. Vipassana, because in the future you're going to bump into people who have done Vipassana. Vipassana, another term, is the four foundation of mindfulness. The four foundation of mindfulness of Vipassana, the same thing. This is a Pali term. I'd like you to know that Vipassana is the exact tool helping you to go from A, boom, 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 to B, totally blissful. That is Vipassana, or mindfulness meditation. Okay. But do you know that? Oopsie. I live in Thailand. Supposed to be at 95% of Buddhist people. But when you go to ask people, do you do any Vipassana? I said, what? Vipassana? Isn't that only for monks? There's still this misconception that Vipassana is only for monks, for the really, pious temple goer. You got to be really serious to do Vipassana. If I'm a lay person, I'm a housewife, I got children, kid, and husband, Vipassana has nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they got to pop in the pill, to help with their relaxation or whatever. Not knowing that they have the best tool ever in their culture. And this is, you talk about Thailand. Okay? So that's why I need to help people to understand why they need to do Vipassana. Why they need to do it. So I give people the 3 analogies to accommodate different level of IQ, I suppose, of IQ. Okay. So let's look at the first one. Look at this one. This is your physical self, handsome, beautiful, okay? This is the part that you see yourself in the mirror, your physical self. We also have a mental self, which is your consciousness. But if I use the term consciousness, I cannot carry on, I cannot go on, because I cannot build a storyline, surrounded this component. So I give this consciousness a character, call it your mental self, okay? Characterize it. And then I build a storyline around it so that can help you to understand all this abstract nature component inside your body. Okay, so we have the mental self represented by this red part, okay? And this part, your mind or Jerry. Jerry is the carrier of all problem. It doesn't matter what problem you have out there. Okay? Someone that you don't like, or they don't like you, they hate you even. That person doesn't jump into your life form, but they jump into your life form as your thoughts and feelings, or Jerry. You get that? Okay? Every problem out here jump into your life in the form of Jerry, thoughts and feeling. So this is your Jerry, and then this is your mental self, which is also your true self. Look, so when the problem hits you, your mental self is being lost in your mental jungle. You see that? Being lost in your mental jungle, unable to come home. Because physically, of course, you got your home address. But where is your mental home address? No one tell you that. And you can't see it. So therefore, that's why spirituality, you need guidance. You need a teacher to guide you. Okay, so this is the predicament that humanity are in it. I don't normally shout this much in that room because I might have to use this the microphone. Otherwise, I won't have voice left for tomorrow. Let's see. Let's try it. Hello. Can you hear me better? Maybe I don't have to shout. Okay. So what happened is that where was I? Yeah. So every problem comes with your Jerry. So when your mental self is being bombarded by a whole army of Jerry, it's very much like your mental self is lost in your mental jungle. Okay? In your mental jungle, unable to come home because you don't even know what your mental self is. And you don't know where your home is. You don't know how to come home. Okay? So all these questions, all these problems, you need guidance. Okay? So, in fact, 2.5 millennia ago, the Buddha already know about all these problems about humanity. That's why he led us to come home. You see, upon his enlightenment. So bring your mental self back home is exactly the meaning of Vipassana, or the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Okay? So Vipassana is nothing more than the Buddha, hold a hand, come on, I'm going to bring your mental self back home. No place like home. Home is a safe place where your mental self can take the refuge, can really rest, in peace. So this is the meaning of Vipassana. Bring your mental self back home. Okay? I'm building a center in Thailand, and that center is called Bring a Mental Self Back Home. BMSBH Center is in Nakhon Pathom area. Okay? Yeah. So this is the first analogy for the mindfulness meditation of Vipassana. Okay, bring a mental self back home. However, there are still some people who can't understand. So I give you the second analogy. The second analogy, I represent Vipassana or mindfulness meditation as a medication. Medication. Okay, yeah, have a look. So come back to this. Your jelly is very much like viruses or bacteria that eating your mental self up. You see, in English, you even got the phrase, the word that you talk about. When people have lots of problems, is that you're being eaten up by your own problem. Eat your inside up. And if this symptom inwardly become chronic, okay? Constantly, you're being constantly, restless, stress, worry, anxiety, all these things, chronically. All this negative energy, all this dark energy will inevitably surface within 18 months on your physical level and turn into illnesses. Okay? They're all linked. This whole, body and mind, spirit is a one whole network that interact, have their own, interaction all the time. So you cannot solve one without the other. Okay? So come back to this. Look at this. Jelly as the viruses and bacteria that eating your mental self up. So Vipassana is nothing more than medication, okay, helping you to defeat all these inner viruses and bacteria. But the person who take this medication is not your physical self. It got to be your mental self, right? Got to be your mental self. So if you don't know what your mental self is, you can't do anything with it. So anyway, the second analogy is medication that your mental self got to take to, counteract, to get rid of all your mental viruses and bacteria or mental illnesses. Okay? The third one is this one. Okay, right. Mindfulness meditation or Vipassana act as a transport, like a car, because you are at position A with the boom, boom, boom. Okay, you want to go to position B where all the mental pain, vanish. So the Buddha basically give us a car. Here, give you a car, go drive to position B. But who got to be the one who drive this car? Not your physical self. Your physical self drive all those posh car. But it is your mental self got to drive the car that called Vipassana. Okay? Yeah. So 3 analogies to help you to understand why we need to do Vipassana. Okay? So this knowledge, in fact, it has, reached the Western country for a long time now. And everyone will talk about, practicing mindfulness. In fact, it's come from the Buddhist concept, the Buddhist tool called Vipassana, mindfulness meditation. The full term is the 4 foundation of mindfulness. Okay, so Vipassana, the 4 foundation of mindfulness, or bring our mental self back home, is in fact the 4th noble truth. The 4th noble truth. Okay, so we have covered the 4 noble truth in about an hour now, not? Yeah, in about 15 minutes. Okay. So it saves your time to go read the book. If you look at the, in the library, okay, there are 45 volumes that cover the content of the 4 Noble Truths. 45 volumes, and each volume as thick as the Bible. Why 45 volumes? Because the Buddha taught for 45 years. So that is to signify, his length of time that he was teaching. 45 volumes. And in that is about the 4 Noble Truths, okay? But I try to squeeze to 50 minutes for you to make your life easier. Right. Is that clear? Are you all ready yet? Okay. Coming to the tool, that is the most important part, so I try to make it short. A lot of the time it's too long. So, a skill of self-empowerment. Mindfulness meditation, or bring a mental self back home, is a skill of self-empowerment, putting the destiny of life into our own hand. Not in a doctor, not in a chemist, not on a partner, not on a parents. our own hand. Okay? You got to fight for yourself. So this is how we started. Okay? The state of mind that is full with Jerry, being attacked by Jerry, left, right, and center, up and down. So you want to tackle all this, Jerry. How to do it? We are going to go through it step by step. And this part is very important. You've got to really understand the theory part, okay? The instruction very clearly. If there is any part that you don't understand, you must ask. And then after that, we're going to sit down. You already sit down. We just close our eyes and meditate. And then I will still guide you every inch of the way. Okay? Right. I'm going to stop.